Hi everyone, another day, another vlog, and a friend recommended that I look at the lens of my phone here to speak. I'm not used to doing that. I'm used to looking at the screen. In my Zoom meetings at work, for example, I see people's faces. I see 5 people and I sort of want to know what's going on in the room. So this habit of looking at this lens that doesn't blink at me, doesn't know if it's sleeping or awake. But in any case, I'll try to look at the lens as I speak to my phone. And I want to talk about this half of the book. I talked about the first half in the previous vlog, and then I finished the whole thing. And it's Crush It by Gary Vaynerchuk. So in the sort of the middle of the book, Gary goes into the details of what medium a person should choose. A medium meaning, should they write a blog? Should they make a video of a blog? Or should they do an audio blog, which is called a podcast these days? And I guess a video blog is a vlog, very much what I'm doing here, sort of documenting, recording my conversations in my own mind that I think about as I go about living, working, and listening to other people and reading books. So in any case, then Gary talks about platforms. So he talks about WordPress, he talks about Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Flickr, and sort of when I say those things, it sort of tells that this book is from 2009, before TikTok was launched or before Instagram, which are more popular these days. And I guess Spotify too. I don't have Spotify, but I hear in the news something going on between Joe Rogan and a musician, Neil Young. So a lot of people have Spotify. I guess that's another platform where you can do blogging, I guess audio blogging, podcasting. But in any case, things come and go, so I don't want to get too caught up about what Gary didn't get right. It's sort of very much a manual. He sort of gives instructions, how to get a domain name, what to do, what should you get .org or just a .com. So Gary does a good job, for 2009 or 2008. I don't know when he started writing the book. Then he goes back to where he began, which is about passion. And that's in your DNA. That's what Gary says. And then authenticity. And he says authenticity is something that's perceived by your viewers. And then he sort of gives his own example that, he's a very bombastic guy with a very lively personality. And he says not everybody who's watching his Wine Library TV sort of likes that. So he's like, I'm losing about 12% of the audience. But he says if he tries to win over those 12% of the audience, then the other 88% may not be happy. So that's what authenticity is. It's perceived by the audience, but you can't win everybody. So that's what I sort of gathered from listening or reading Gary. And then his appendix A, sort of gives a summary of the whole book. I didn't realize I didn't have to read the whole thing. It sort of very much tells you, I don't know if you can, I guess my phone is not very good enough to capture it, but it says, did you forget anything? And it goes step by step. Identify your passion, make sure you can think of at least 50 things you can blog about, on. And it's only, barely 2.5 pages. So step by step, it's like a manual, very much so. So I recommend it. Old book, but I think it's still relevant because these platforms come and go. So, Flickr or Tumblr aren't as popular now as TikTok or Instagram is, and who knows what's going to happen with Instagram and TikTok in 10 years. But if we follow Gary's recipe, follow your DNA or follow your passion, it doesn't really matter whatever platform there is, in 2032, or who knows, even in 5 years, there could be a new platform that sort of makes Instagram obsolete, as long as a person is following the recipe, which is to follow your DNA, they'll be fine. And something else, as I sort of think back to other things I've heard and read about, the idea of follow your DNA from Gary, and then there you have the idea from Paulo Coelho, who's also a very popular writer from Brazil, and he talks about life's path. Or personal legend. I think it's called personal legend in The Alchemist. Robert Greene is another author who has written a lot about it. And there's a book that recently came out called The Daily Laws. And he talks about life's task. So You got Follow Your DNA from Gary. You got Personal Legend by Paulo Coelho. And then you have Life's Task by Robert Greene. And I think different thinkers and writers over the course of history have sort of tried to say the same thing. Easy said than done. So I think Robert Greene sort of gives quite a good recipe. So this book is like daily meditations, just like Marcus Aurelius's book is quite popular. I've sort of had it since my early 20s. I think it has helped me in navigating life. And Robert Greene does the same with discovering your life's task. Sort of gives you a daily meditation, and that's what January is about. The month of January, Robert Greene has quotes from different writers, thinkers, philosophers, artists over the course of history, and how they came about finding who they are. And then there's also mention of Ryan Holiday, which is a protege of Robert Greene. Ryan Holiday has become quite popular with his writings on Stoicism. I think I've seen a couple of books. I think I may have even gifted one. I haven't read Ryan Holiday, but that's something else I look to explore, because that's what these guys are doing, and they're living very much in 21st century. So it's relevant, and I look forward to exploring their ideas in the future, in coming weeks, months, and let's see for how long I can keep doing this, and hopefully my phone doesn't run out of storage. Thank you for watching.